This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
We say hello to our friends at 96.5 WCMF, Rochester's classic rock station. Joining us now, also WAAF, Boston's rock station, and 97.3 The Machine in San Diego. Talk That Rocks. Big show for you. Random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories today will be thoughts and candy bars, and we will review some men's room rules. All right, our random question. What do you do to keep yourself awake? The headline reads, terrified Greyhound passengers, as if there were any other kind anytime.
Have you ever been on a Greyhound? You're terrified.
Yeah.
If you're not terrified, you're the killer.
Actually,
it's like the Orient Express. When you get on the Greyhound, just look around. One of you is a murderer. We don't know which one, and hopefully we get off the bus and get to our destination before you strike again.
I was on a Greyhound bus for about 4 hours.
Yes, it is.
For about 3 hours 4 months ago, and it was pretty entertaining.
Longest I've done, I did, it's like 21 or 22 hours from Baltimore to New Orleans, and then did it about a year later on the way back. It is, it was a different experience, man.
I did Louisville to West Virginia when I was a kid, and it was, some of these towns were just, you'd basically pull in front of a Piggly Wiggly or a Publix, and there would be a phone booth that would have a Greyhound sign, and somebody would be standing there like in a black and white movie, you know what I mean, with a suitcase, and they would just get on.
That's how I found out where Danville, Virginia is.
Weird.
I had never heard of Danville, but it was that. There's a woman standing. By the way, I still prefer Greyhound over United.
At some point on the 20-plus hour bus trip between Phoenix, Arizona, and Dallas, Texas,
that's a hot bus.
The passengers' attention turned from the southwestern scenery to what was going on in the driver's seat. The bus was leaning a little bit, according to Philip Hurd.
Just a little.
After he and nearly 4 dozen others had reached the safety of downtown Dallas in the terminal, they said that Hurd, the driver, said that he swayed back and forth, imitating the bus. That's when people really started to get, worried. Only the driver seemed unconcerned by her driving. Passengers told the station we saw her going like this and just dozing off, sinking her head, and then jerking it up like a student half sleeping in class. I politely asked her 4 times to pull the bus over. As the bus sped and wobbled toward Dallas, the politeness of the passengers eventually had to go out the window. It got to the point we had to raise our voice, pull over. We have our children on this bus. She'd been going over the white line, and everyone was like, wake the hell up. A man got out of his seat and stood directly behind the driver, clapping his hands above her head as he screamed, you should have stopped when we were swerving. You should have stopped when we were swerving.
You should watch the video. I mean, he's like, you should have stopped when we were swerving.
Still not willing to pull over the bus. Passengers told the TV station that the driver stood up while the bus was still moving to argue with a man. So get off the bus. I bet I don't, the man said. You're doing too much. No, you're doing too much. This is when it gets bizarre. The men then turned around and asked the other passengers who he and the driver was going to do too much at the moment. She is. Everyone says she's doing too much.
Right.
Either way, they decided to call the cops, call them now. The spokesperson for Greyhound added that Greyhound has opened an internal investigation into the allegations. Either way, what's scarier than being on a Greyhound bus? Being on a Greyhound bus with somebody who's falling asleep at the wheel.
And poking themselves in the face with a pair of tweezers.
Jesus.
That's insane.
Yes, the whole thing is. Hello, Kenneth. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
All right, here. Go this one, Kenneth. Sing about the lean years. The lean years, the years of not a lot of money, but you're out on your own there. What did you survive off of when times were tough? How did you get by? What was your technique? What did you eat? Where did you stay?
Well, I ate a lot of bologna.
Okay.
You picked bologna over ramen noodles?
Yeah, definitely. There used to be I'm from Los Angeles. You go downtown Los Angeles, they used to have this big market, and you could go in there and you could take $3 and just buy like 2 loaves of bread, a couple of pounds of bologna, and a pickle.
Did you fry
and a pickle?
Did you fry your bologna?
No, I like my bologna raw.
You do?
The fried bologna was just too greasy for me.
I like a fried bologna sandwich.
You're going to eat bologna and get picky. I mean, come on,
No,
man.
I just like my bologna fried. I like it
not
filleted
you.
So it
him,
curl
it's
up.
it's too greasy.
All right, well,
it's just too bologna.
It's got fat in it.
No, but you're...
Yeah, it loses, when you fry it, it loses the bologna taste.
No, that's why I would
That's
fry.
what I was hoping for. That's what I was going for.
That is my goal.
Yes, exactly right.
So was it just like bologna and bread and nothing else?
No yellow mustard?
Well, honey mustard.
All right.
All right.
Excuse
well,
me.
there you go.
Do you put
Honey mustard definitely work.
Do you put anything else on the bologna sandwich? Slice of cheese, any lettuce?
Pickle.
Is that pickles?
The pickle.
All right, pickle.
And let me ask, do you still eat bologna, or have you kind of forsaken it?
I have forsaken bologna.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man. You got to go back and do it.
I don't feed bologna to my daughter.
You know what? Look, I don't feed Cinnamon Toast Crunch to my kids, not because I care about them, but because I want to eat it. But listen, go back. Look, I swore off ramen noodles for God knows how many years, like so many people before me, right? Maybe 10, 15 years, because like that's all you ate. And then I introduced them to something else I was making, and I'm like, these are delicious when you don't have to eat them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, try some bologna, bro.
They're not bad.
It'll bring up
When's the last time you think as an adult, though, you ate bologna? Just a bologna sandwich.
It had to be like in
I
a part of
don't
a
know.
Subway club kind of sandwich.
Right,
I
but
didn't
it's
know it was
just a
included
bologna
in it,
sandwich.
where they like put ham and turkey and bologna all in one sandwich, and I didn't know it, and I like had some.
I don't think you should legally be obligated to tell people that there's bologna on like a cold cut sandwich. Because
Bologna will come around.
It always looks like it can be there, but it looks like the bummer when you're like, we have capicola, prosciutto, blah, blah. Everything else sounds kind of delicious. Bologna, you're like,
Reason we asked, what did you survive off of? Southern California attorney survived 5 days lost in the desert by drinking his own urine and eating cactus. I guess he had a cup handy?
Maybe it's pee in your hands? Well, he probably had a canteen because he was going to do a hike.
Okay,
right?
all right.
Yeah, he must
But when
have
he finished the
All
water,
right.
it's like, all right, man, I got to pee in the canteen. And
he ate cactus, and this after breaking his heel and pelvis on what was supposed to be a half-day hike. Attorney Paul Hanks set out to celebrate his birthday, his 54th birthday, with a hike in
birthday!
lovely Joshua Tree National Park. Clad only in shorts and a T-shirt, Hanks took just a couple of energy packs and a few hours worth of water with him on his hike. Hanks describes himself as an experienced hiker who'd been to Joshua Tree several times, but while bouldering, he fell about 20 feet and shattered his left heel and broke his pelvis. It happened, I slipped. And it was just, having not slipped in 45 years, it was instant and total shock. He yelled for help, but he was alone in the expansive desert. When night fell and the
Bono
temperature
didn't show
dropped, he sought shelter under a Joshua tree to sleep.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, my goodness. Can you believe that?
Think about that.
Oh, my gosh. He was by himself. Hoping the ground around him, his desire was to be found. Hanks had run out of water by the very first night I was drinking my own urine. I had drunk all of the water in my bottle and was refilling my bottle with my own urine. I don't know if I could, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'd.
Yes, you could.
You
See,
could?
here's the difference. We talked to the guy that ate bologna because it wasn't survival. He's just broke. At the point where it's like, hey, man, I just don't want to die. I'm alone under a Joshua tree in the middle of nowhere. I got to drink my pee.
Mm-hmm. Good
I've
times.
got to drink my
Yeah, I'm
pee.
with you. Nothing else would make you do that.
Right. You don't. Yeah, there's no other situation.
Even on a beautiful day?
Life or death. Like, it's one of those things, like, I can't say I would never drink my pee, but if I do, it's life or death. Hello, Sonny. Welcome to the men's room. Hola.
How you doing today, gentlemen?
Wonderful, sir. How are you?
Doing great, Donald.
Still alive. Got to count for something.
Okay. All right, let's go with this one. What did you absolutely and completely forget? What did you forget?
Right.
It might have been a night drinking. It might have been an anniversary, a birthday. What did you forget completely?
All right, I got one for you. This is from my last Tortuga event, which Tortuga is a complete 21 and older event where drinks are pretty much all around. And me, I can barely remember 60% of that Tortuga for how drunk I was getting. And this is a 3-day event. So 60% of that is out the window right off the bat because of how much I drank.
So basically 2 out of the 3 days are gone.
Yep, but it's the last day. It's literally the last night. I'm drinking, I'm partying, I black out drunk. I wake up in some other girl's tent and I'm wearing a kilt. I'm stumbling out trying to figure out where the heck I'm at. Yeah. And you go to use the restroom and all of a sudden there's a pearl necklace wrapped around my junk. And I'm just like, all right, where the heck did this come from? So I was like, all right, take it up, hold it on my wrist, and walk back to my encampment. And like, all my other guys are awake. They're like, hey, where have you been? It's like, I can't remember.
All right.
So you woke up in a kilt with a pearl necklace wrapped around your penis.
Yes. And it wasn't
Yeah, that's
about
correct.
20 minutes later that some, like, 60-year-old woman ended up coming by. It's like, hey, I believe you have my pearl necklace. It's like, the thing is, she was 60 years old, but she had the body of like a 30-year-old.
Sure she did.
Like, she was really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look, man.
Yeah.
You already got a kilt and a necklace wrapped around your penis. It's all good.
Reason we asked, what did you completely forget? A 41-year-old near Tampa named Ronnie Alexander woke up last Wednesday morning, and he immediately got into a fight with his wife, Carol, because he forgot that day was their wedding anniversary. Luckily for him, he had to go to work, which gave him a chance to plan something for later in the day. But when he got home from work, he showed up with a single rose. And he said he was going to book a hotel somewhere for the weekend, but it doesn't sound like he'd actually booked anything yet. Shortly after that, his wife Carol absolutely lost it and hit him multiple times. He ended up with scratches on his neck and chest and a black eye. When police questioned her, she admitted that she, quote, flipped the S out on him. She's facing charges for misdemeanor domestic battery. So he doesn't really take too highly of stock into the old anniversary thing.
So at some point during the day, he must have remembered, right? If he got the one rose.
Well, you got the one, but look, man, you don't go home and say, hey, and this is what I'm going to do. You need to go home and say, and this is what I've done.
They woke up in the morning and got into an argument because he had forgot the anniversary. So basically, he had all day long to try to rectify the situation in some way, shape, or form. Came back with a single rose and said basically he was looking at a hotel for the weekend.
He should have just come home with divorce papers and cut through all this.
Random question, 844-999. Ola, more your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Still to come, your guess is as good as mine. The categories will be thoughts and candy bars. Your guess is as good as mine. Coming up right after thoughts and candy bars.
You sound like a circus bike. Come on, kids.
Come
we
on
have
down.
thoughts and candy bars.
What would you rather have for a nickel? A fart in your face or a candy bar? It's like trick or treat, right?
I think I'm going to go candy bar.
Is that a fart?
Is that the new trick or treat?
Instead of farts
or candy bars?
Farts or candy bars. Well, at least the categories are entertaining anyway. Your guess is as good as mine on the way. Random question, 844-999. Ola.
Random,
Hello,
random,
Josh.
random,
Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola!
All right, Josh, let's go with this one. This is going to be a deep one for you. What have you changed your stance or beliefs in as you've gotten older? Maybe you used to think one way about something and you got older and you went, you know what? I don't think that way anymore. Now that I have kids of my own or whatever the deal is.
I've been incarcerated 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm 22 now, and I used to think school was stupid and had no use, but now that I'm older, and I kind of wish I would have, when I first started college, stayed in there. I dropped out when I was 19, and now it's kind of hard to get back into it with a full-time job and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you know what? The good news is honest to God, man, if you really wanted to try, you can take a couple of online classes at night if you wanted to work toward that thing. But, you know, if you find a job that pays the bills, I mean, hell.
Yeah, well, no, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. It's just, I had it made back then, a couple years ago, and I wish I would have stuck with it.
I had somebody tell me, look, if you don't go to college now, you're just never going to do it because you're going to start working and then you're never going to be able to do it. So I think that was pretty solid advice at the time because I don't think realistically you're ever going to go back and do it.
I think a lot of people do. I think
a lot of people can do it. It just wouldn't be something that I would.
I mean, I went back at a point, like I hit 30. I was just unhappy with what I was doing. Right? And typically that's why it happens. Like the error of your ways comes back and haunts you, and then you're like, all right, got to do something.
I would say for me, it's got to be marijuana. Like up until my mid-20s, like not only did I not smoke it, but I was pretty much against it. And would like give my friends a hard time and this and that. And now I'm like the stoner in my family.
Tough. Yeah, hell yeah. Well, ironically enough,
Smoker Ted's here.
That's the reason that we asked the question, what have you changed your stance and beliefs on? Smoky bassist Gene Simmons of KISS, you know him. He was at the Venture Exchange, which is in Canada, ringing the morning bell. as Canadian cannabis producer Invictus, which has 2 licensed sites in Ontario, changed its share ticker name for the company from IMH, this is no lie, to Gene, Gene on the stock market, on the ticker.
Are you kidding?
In Canada. They are now Gene. They are now Gene. It's easy to remember, but it really comes from genetics, insisted Simmons.
Right.
As he was dressed in a black suit and gray tie for his new role as the chief evangelist officer of Invictus.
What is a chief evangelist officer?
I'm not sure.
I want all you to get smoky.
Yes.
And you will be smoking tough.
Mm-hmm. If anyone knows something about smoking weed, it's not Gene Simmons.
No.
If you know anything about Gene Simmons, you know that he has never drank a drop of alcohol in his life.
That explains his wonderful sense of humor and great misdemeanor.
He's never smoked cigarettes or weed or done any drugs except under a doctor's care, he said. And he lashes out at abusers all the times. But, quote, not yesterday. Gene Simmons says, I was wrong and I was not informed. Well, drug abuse, you don't have to be a genius to know that's wrong, as well as alcohol abuse. Everybody knows that's wrong, but I've been dismissive of cannabis, and I didn't know much about it. I just dismissed it as out of hand. I have to man up and admit in the past, I used to dismiss lots of things because of ignorance and arrogance. About 3 years ago, when I did my own research, I found out astonishingly some new information that doctors and researchers were talking about with regards to cannabis.
They've been saying it for years.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with it. This is a money-making opportunity for a man that likes to make money.
Now, wait a minute. KISS is only behind 5,000 licensed products for KISS.
Yeah, exactly.
They only have, wait, no, just hold on. They have 5,000 licensed products.
Now, keep in mind,
for the band.
They have, we know things like pinball machines and lunch boxes, but keep in
Hello
mind,
Kitty.
the Hello Kitty line, they have a KISS coffin. If you like KISS that much that you want to be buried in a KISS coffin, you can order one. They had what the Arena Football League team.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the Los Angeles KISS.
Right. The appeal Invictus has for me is I'm bullish on the company and as an investment strategy for myself. He's perfectly honest about it. For me,
he should
this
be.
is a business opportunity. As a matter of full disclosure, I've got $10 million in stock in the company, and I'm glad to do it. Respectfully, I'm not as much a celebrity as a businessman because you can't find somebody like me. I got a restaurant chain, also some other businesses
What's
that
this
have
restaurant
nothing to
chain?
do with playing a guitar. At the end of the day, business is the sexiest thing. That's according to Gene, who now is a fan of cannabis. He's going to make a lot of money on it, too, because you got to keep in mind that the entire country in Canada has legalized weed. So much like you can get a Budweiser anywhere you want in the United States of America,
Sure.
It'll be the same in Canada as far as weed is concerned.
Just no wiser, just
and
Bud.
and that's a big deal because in the pot industry in the United States, it is strictly state by state. Las Vegas, Nevada, when they legalized marijuana, the first few weeks they were running out of weed. They didn't have enough off of their medical supply to be able to keep up. In the meantime, Oregon and Washington, they had stockpiles of weed that they could send down there if they needed it, but you can't cross state lines. So the difference between this company and what we have here in the United States is basically think of it as any beer you brew in state, that beer can only be consumed by people within the state at a place where you can buy it in the state. That's the way weed works in the United States. Here, it's going to be nationwide. This company, by the way, also is in the beverage market as well, so the distribution is going to be there. That's not a stupid move from Gene Simmons at all. If you're
It's not a
investing
stupid
in
move.
the cannabis market.
Look, I just give him like, man, just stop with all the chintzy BS you're saying. I at least appreciate the fact where it's like, look, as long as the band's been around, he has espoused his beliefs about weed, alcohol, blah, 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 blah. 40 years of Gene Simmons, right? Now that you can legally make money on this multi-billion-dollar industry, at least he's just honest and says, you know what? I still don't do it. I still don't like, but I like that money.
It'd be cool if he smoked up, though, one time, right? I mean, he's an investor in the company.
I think a lot of people do that, though.
They do. I just appreciate the fact that at least he could have dropped the ball. For my own research. Brother, you didn't do a lick of
He
research.
didn't even wait to happen in the United States that way. He went straight to Canada.
Yeah,
took
like you
advantage
said.
of the business opportunity.
That's exactly it. Hello. Damn it. Hello, Dave. Welcome to the men's room.
What's up?
Hola! What's happening, Dave? All right, here, let's go this
What's
way.
going on?
Dave, who do you think gets way too much credit? Who do you think is just, you just can't figure out why they're, popular, why people like them, why they get too much credit at their job? Who do you think it is that just gets too much credit?
Post Malone.
Hands down.
Really?
Hands down.
All right.
Who did you say?
That's the ugly T-Pain, if you ask me.
Post Malone. He's
Post
a rapper,
Malone. Oh, okay.
entertainer.
All right. You just don't like his stuff?
No, I think we're seeing the reincarnation of T-Pain, just in an uglier version.
I got to give you credit. I've never heard anybody call him an ugly version of T-Pain. That's not bad.
That's an ugly version of T-Pain.
Well, just because he uses so many effects on his songs and
All
stuff.
right, right.
Obviously, they don't look alike. But.
Is it that trap beat stuff that I can't stand that drives me crazy?
Yeah, you've heard Graduation.
Okay, all right. No, lately my child has got me only listening to SOB. That's all that can be played in my home. The reason why we asked, yeah, who do you think gets way too much credit? Denver International Airport was just ranked as the top aviation hub in the United States of America in the prestigious annual Skytrax World Airport Awards. Those awards that you probably never heard of rank the top 100 airports in the world, and Denver International Airport came in at 29th worldwide, but that was good for the top spot in the United States of America. And it ranked 28th last year. It surpassed Cincinnati's North Kentucky International Airport as the top airport in the U.S. after it fell 8 spots from 26th to 31st. As far as the 5th best regional airport in the world, that was won by Japan, and I guess they have some of the top airports in the world. From Hong Kong International. Yeah, Denver's the top one here in the United States of America.
It might be a nice airport, but I think it'd be cool if the Denver airport were located within any proximity to its host city, Denver, Colorado.
That would be helpful.
Well, you're both right. It is a great airport, but it's not near the city.
It's not near anything. Tranquility Base. Neil Armstrong was closer to Denver than the Denver airport.
I had a bison burger there, so I like that airport.
Yeah, but it took you an hour to get there to eat it.
Well, it was just a layover.
And if you don't know that,
you know what? I'll tell you what.
I've never gone to the airport, then had to go to downtown Denver.
It takes less time flying into Denver as a layover or driving to the Denver airport from the city of Denver. I'm telling you, you could fly from San Diego. You're going to get to Denver before I'm going to get from the Denver airport to the city.
Yeah, to your hotel, without question.
I'll tell you, it's a group of people that always gets. Phil, you probably agree with me. That probably gets a little too much credit sometimes.
Duke basketball.
Well, I was going to say college coaches, but sometimes just the actual head chef at a restaurant.
Yeah, man.
Like everybody else on that line is doing a lot of work.
And listen, and yes, I'm a little biased by this, but just there are some chefs that actually work at the restaurant right? And you go like, all right, man, credit to you. But in a lot of cases, a lot of these, the bigger name, quote unquote, celebrity chefs, it's not that they can't cook. It's not that they could not make a fantastic meal. It's just that 9 times out of 10, 999 times out of 1,000 times, if you went to that restaurant, maybe they actually made your meal. Maybe. They don't, my experience, they're there. We know they're very talented at what they do. They're very talented at what they could be doing. I've never actively seen a chef actually cook. I worked in restaurants for 12 years. They would come in, they would tell you what you're doing right or wrong or whatever the case may be, but the sous chef handled everything. And then everyone on the line did everything else. And the only time we saw the chef is if your local news was in to chat him up. And now this cat had the nerve to put on a chef's coat and a chef's pants. And it's like, do you know why they always have clean chef's coats? Because they don't do any goddamn thing. Mm-hmm. Just saying, man.
Just like doctors.
Yeah. The nurse has blood on her. The doctor does not. It's kind of the same thing. Right? You go to the doctor. This is what it's like to be a chef. It's like being a doctor, right? You go in and everyone else, your nurses, they're kind of like your waitstaff. Why are you here? What do you need? We will get all of this for you. All right. And they all take care of you. And then at the very, 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 very end of your visit, even though they've done all the work, and they've talked to you about everything, they say, hey, the chef wanted to come meet at the table. And that's your doctor. How was everything? Says here you did this. And you go, yeah. And that's it. They don't do a goddamn thing. Hello, Fox. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, Fox.
How's it going?
We're doing well, man.
Is Fox your real name, or is that a nickname you gave yourself?
No, that is my legitimate legal name is Fox.
Your parents named you Fox?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it like going through school with the name Fox? Did it work out to be great, or did it suck?
It was awesome. All the kids love me.
1X or 3?
Just one.
Okay, all right. Fox, what would you say? Here we have birthday songs coming up. What is the craziest way that you have celebrated a birthday?
Oh man, probably my 21st birthday. I went out with actually my mom, and she was feeding me shots after shot, and I think I ended up crapping myself that night.
Yeah, Mom.
Because of your mother.
Because of my mother.
Well, to be fair, she's seen you crap yourself probably more than any other human being.
She probably just wanted the night to be over with early, so it wasn't one of those, 1 a.m. nights. So she figured the amount more shots, the quicker you guys would get home. All right, yeah.
But since then, my birthdays have been pretty awesome.
I never got hammered with my mother.
Oh,
it wasn't our intent, but
right.
Mom.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Even if it was like a family
even if it was
event.
accidental, I would have been happy with it.
Really?
Oh yeah. Never.
Oh man, I mean,
doesn't
nothing
throw
to do
down.
it. But like, if there's a family event, right? Like, you're both drinking all day, but like, you haven't really seen each other. You're in proximity, but at some point, like, you kind of make contact.
Bumped into each other,
right? It's like, wow, you're pretty hammered. Like, you are too. I'm like, I know.
Yes, exactly. Reason we asked the craziest way you celebrate a birthday. Boy, this is good times. The woman who was caught on camera performing oral sex on a man while riding on a train told police she did it because it was her birthday. And it was something that she'd always wanted to do.
Always.
How did she never? I mean, if
we go to Australia for Chantel Gordon, 34 years old, something she'd always wanted to do and never did. I could have helped her out on that.
If she walked up to any random person and said, I want this on my bucket list. I'm like, say no more.
Mm-hmm. She was fined $700 and given a 12-month good behavior bond. According to court documents cited by the news, it was a late December morn when the pair met on the station platform in Port Kembla. After boarding the train, Brennan claimed that Gordon started to masturbate him, so he decided to pull his pants down and approach her. She then started to perform oral sex, the entirety of which was filmed on the train's closed-circuit camera. When the train pulled into Wollongong, less than 20 minutes later...
Is that the sound she made, or is that the name of the city?
Wollongong station were waiting for the pair on the platform. When staff saw Brennan on the train with his pants down and holding his penis, they called police.
Just put it away when it's done,
After he had finished speaking with Brennan, the officer advised him to leave the station. Not long after that, the officer saw Gordon walk out of the station bathroom, and she eventually admitted to being the woman involved in the incident. According to court documents seen by the police department, someone at Wollongong station immediately after the incident had given Brennan karaoke because, quote, it was her birthday, and she always wanted to do it.
Why don't you come blow out my candle?
Oh, no.
What? I'd have sang happy birthday to her at least while she's doing that.
After the pair finished their late morning liaison, Brennan decided to use a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola he was holding to clean his penis on the train. Staff at Wollongong found a large and disgusting liquid mess on the floor, which they originally thought was urine. When police asked Brennan why he urinated on the train floor, he said, it wasn't pee. I spilled a little of my Coke. Go look at it. It was just Coke.
He dumped Coke on his penis to clean up.
Oh, boy. Brennan also said that he is in big trouble with his girlfriend since the story made national news. Oh, yes. Oh, boy.
That'll get you in trouble with the girl.
The 38-year-old said the mother of his 3 children was not happy following the news of his sexual encounter. I'm in strife, he told the publications. And he said he'd been on the end of a few choice words.
You don't say. Oh, no.
Oh, man. That's great.
He poured Coke on his penis.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's a new one. Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, this hola.
Hola.
All right, Matt. We're going to do something a little bit dangerous here. We're also going to give you a hypothetical.
Oh, boy.
If you saw a truck with its contents spilled on a highway, what product spilled would upset you the most to see that it was gone, that it was destroyed? Keep in mind, it was only a couple weeks ago that an entire 18-wheeler of a Bush splattered all over a highway in Florida. What would be the product that would upset you the most? You'd be like, oh, that's a damn shame.
Man, that's a good question.
That's why we asked it.
I really like fried chicken. So there was a bunch of chicken.
All right.
Just all over the ground, ruined because of dirt. I mean, it would definitely upset me.
Okay.
Would you Somehow I picture Matt like trying to, I don't know, fishtail a KFC truck just to roll over and he can steal the chicken out of the back, man.
That's not a terrible call, though. It would bum me out to see that much fried chicken on the ground.
Oh, I thought you meant fishtailing it off the road. Like, it's a horrible idea.
Like if it was weed, you could pick it up. And you could,
but wait. Okay, now be honest. Say it's already cooked, right? There's fried chicken everywhere. Obviously, the chicken on the ground is bad, but just based on sheer volume, some of the chicken is on top of chicken that's on the ground.
I mean, I'd eat road chicken.
I'd eat that. I'd eat that. Road chicken.
Yeah, the reason we asked you saw a truck with
okay, well, one last question then about that. What would bother you more, that it was on the actual road or if it's on, like, the grass next to the road?
I'd rather it be in the grass. No oils or stuff.
Some Southern California McDonald's, honest to God, will be on a French fry shortage this week. A truck carrying boxes of fries overturned on the 5 freeway in Irvine on Sunday morning. The driver was not hurt, but he did lose his entire load of frozen French fries, which were scattered along the side of the highway. Keep in mind, the head chef had McDonald's as the number one fry.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
In the United States. Radio question, 844-999. Ola, more your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Ola Bichola, you have entered the men's room.
Still a couple reviews, some men's room rules, and we'll drink and toast. The shot of the day is on the way. In the meantime, it is our random question. Question 844-999.
Random.
Hello, Shane. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Bichola.
Hola. Hello, Shane.
Hola.
Shane, who did you sabotage, and why did you sabotage them?
Who did I sabotage?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
That was just right.
That was a slow burn.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, hold on.
Just because you take 10 seconds to say it doesn't make it okay.
Once again, men's room callers, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
Obviously, the answer for Shane was the show. The reason we asked, who and why did you sabotage? The Missoula Pita Pit owners are speaking out after a Facebook video showed one of its employees allegedly spitting in someone's food. The video had been viewed by more than 150,000 people by Saturday evening. The woman who posted it said she and her friends went into the restaurant around 2 a.m. and got into an argument with an employee. The video starts after words had already been exchanged. It shows the employee spitting in the food she was making after a heated exchange. The Pita Pit's owners released a statement. They said they're shocked and saddened by the incident and went on to say they've tried reaching out to the customer who posted the video but were unable to reach her. So they issued a public apology. It says they're reviewing their policies to see what more they can do. It also says the employee in the video no longer works for the Pita Pit.
Have you seen it?
No. I did see it.
I didn't watch it with the. I don't know what was said, but I mean, she's already like made the sandwich and just like.
Gonna say, hey man, just as a general word, and I know they won't say this is a Pita Pit, but I think this is well understood.
This is any restaurant.
If you just have to piss off the cook, make sure you've already eaten, because if you piss them off before you get your food, I will almost guarantee you some form of their DNA. Hell, I just cooked, man. I've done it.
Look, if the restaurant closes at 10 o'clock at night and you walk in and order food at 9:50, you haven't really gotten into an argument with the cook. You don't even know who's back there. But he knows you, and he knows that he was going to get off at 10 o'clock. Most of his stuff has already been cleaned up. You came in at 9:50. You ordered food. It's not personal, but there is a good chance, even without a direct confrontation with someone, that you will have something altered in your food. Is that not fair?
That one's not fair. We'll accept the blow that, all right, look, it's annoying, and we hate you. We deeply, deeply hate you and everyone at the table, and we have nothing but negative thoughts toward you, everything. But we won't mess with your food. However, if you're going to be a D-bag before you get your food, I'm just saying, it's a good chance. Listen, man, and this is honestly got truth. I've worked in an open kitchen and steamed spinach in my sweaty-ass chef's pants because I was pissed off at someone in particular. And when they got their spinach risotto, guess why that spinach was wilted? Just like the menu said. I wilted it in my pants. And to this day, I don't feel bad. I would do it again in a freaking heartbeat.
And this story with this one, right? Pita Pit, anything like that, like, it's 2 a.m. There's a good chance if you're ordering that food, you're already intoxicated.
Yes.
Like, I had a buddy that I told you got into a fight with a guy about a sandwich same time of night, and he got stabbed.
The guy jumped over the counter with a knife.
He didn't jump over the counter. He said, you want to take it outside? He said, sure. And as they walked out the door, he stabbed him.
But he didn't just stab him one time. I thought he stabbed him a few times.
He did. He almost died. He lived.
Okay.
For a sandwich. What kind of sandwich did he get?
Oh, man.
Like, what kind of sandwich?
It was Royal Farms, wasn't it?
Yeah, remember they used to take the chicken and, like, rip it off and put it on a sub?
Yeah.
Fried chicken?
Okay.
So he was getting one of those, thought it was taken.
I will say this. If you're going to get stabbed for a sandwich, a Royal Farms chicken sandwich ain't bad.
Did that guy get fired or anything for that?
Oh, yeah.
He did, okay.
It was like his first night.
Oh!
So he goes to the guy, he's like, dude, you're taking a long time. And he's like, all right, I've had enough. And he walked outside.
Right, you got to get, again, and that happened that happened in Baltimore, but we're right by Hopkins. So the guy, it's his first night, all he's dealing with is drunk idiots.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I
so
see.
by the time
he's had enough.
Right. So I think this Pita Pit woman probably did the same thing. It's in Missoula, where a university is. It's 2 a.m.
See, she didn't stab anyone, though.
Yeah.
She didn't stab anybody.
See, for that, you just get a suspension.
I'd rather have my pita, my Euro spit in than I would be stabbed a number of times.
I think most people agree with that. Yeah.
Random question, 844-999. Ola, more your calls coming up here in seconds.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.